everything that checks off an actual hip hop rap star is Meek Mill. Now maybe he's not as active, maybe he's not as popular.
Right.
You know, like, you know, he's entering that phase of being a legacy act. And the fucked up thing about being a legacy act is you aren't the person that determines it. Right?
Yeah.
It's more so the culture, is more so the vibe, the sound that determines when you become a legacy act. And a lot of niggas cannot identify when that happens. Like Chris Brown, I think this was the album where he finally said, oh, wait, I'm a legacy act. Now, the album sales didn't equate to who we believe Chris Brown to be, but the sound of this album tells me he knows, oh shit, I got to tap back into who I was at some point. It just can't be the same formula. It can't just be the same sound, same cadences, whatever it is. Like, that's the fucked up thing about being a legacy. So Meek Mill, as dope as he is, I think he is, we're not in that era of music anymore. Drake and J. Cole are the only two who have managed to come from 2010 to today and not get looked at as the old niggas in the room.
Kendrick?
They literally got a number
Kendrick
one.
looks like an old nigga in the room.
We gon' fuck up the world, excuse me, but is that your girl? Come on, nah. He just did that with his boy Baby Keem. That's some young nigga shit. That's some Jersey. Nah.
Kendrick is looked at, I hate to break it. I'm not saying it's not to knock his greatness.
No, it's not.
Kendrick is out of the big three.
Yeah.
He is easily viewed as the legacy act between the three.
I think they're all viewed as legacy acts.
I don't think so.
You mean by legacy?
You're
You mean like a little older? Like,
they're older, and I think, and maybe, I don't know if you could pull up the definition of like what a legacy act is, but my interpretation of a legacy act is somebody who, yes, they may still be active, they still can put out new music, but the best days are behind them. Like the best music is behind them.
Like they're not trying to do like new shit all the time.
Exactly. Or their catalog is what is going to keep them afloat. Anything that they do that's new is additive, but it cannot add to who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay.
That's what I perceive to be like a legacy.
That's a good, that's a
so
good
somebody
explanation.
who's, you know, like we have a ton of artists who tour till this day. Like Boyz II Men, New Edition. New Edition is doing a residency and like in Vegas. They're a legacy act. Their legacy is what keeps them here today. Now, I'm not going to put New Edition and Meek Mill. That's a wild crazy.
Y'all making crazy connections today.
I had to give you the extremes of what a true legacy act is compared to somebody who is phasing into that part of their career.
I see where you're coming from, right?
Okay.
And it makes sense. For me, I think a legacy act just has to do with when you came out. Real shit. And
you view Drake as a legacy act?
For sure.
Okay.
He's a legacy act that consistently puts out music that his current base likes because why? He caters to them.
We didn't get a definition.
Right?
I'll look it up.
I couldn't find one.
Like a solid definition.
Yeah, I couldn't find a solid one. It was one on Reddit. I didn't want to trust it.
I think Drake counts to me as a legacy act because he could retire today and we could have a greatest hits from him.
Solely off of what he's released.
It will literally be like a legendary greatest hits album.
I'm telling you. Yeah. And we could still do the same for J. Cole. We could still do the same with Kendrick. You know, Kendrick just had Kodak Black on his album. That's a young act. So, you know,
is this the definition that you found?
Yeah, Reddit.com.
Yeah.
You don't like it? You don't like it?
Is it? I mean, read it.
Well, this person in particular says, when I say legacy act, I'm referring to acts that are legends and are remembered, but no one is really checking for their new music. Some examples of legacy acts, in my opinion, are people like Britney Spears, Celine Dion, and Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, that's not my definition. My definition is when you came in and your catalog. Do you have an extensive catalog that can be played throughout a Super Bowl? Do you have the type of catalog that you can go get hired from a few residencies? You know? And all of those artists have it.
Wait, I have a question.
If they stopped right now. Yeah.
I have like a technical question. So what about, but also this is difficult because he's a fucking anomaly. What about Usher? Because
legacy act.
I know, but SaVon said like your best days are behind you, but it's like he's still.
Exactly.
I feel like right now are his best days though. Like
crazy,
what he's doing right now.
Crazy to say that, right?
So I don't know.
Some would say that about Drake. I said some, not all. But they're active, but their catalog speaks for themselves already. It speaks without saying, right? Like but they've already done that. I think it's literally like an age thing. Again, if I'm wrong, please leave in the comments what you guys view as a legacy act. You know, we're just all trying to learn here. But for me, a legacy act doesn't mean you can't do it anymore, but your catalog speaks for itself.
Yeah, Usher, in my opinion, is definitely a legacy act.
Oh, for sure.
For
sure.
All right,
I'll put
it like this. I'll put it like this.
Yeah.
A legacy act, in my opinion, is somebody who cannot dominate the Billboard charts. Right? So you're still active. You still make great music.
Mariah Carey does it every Christmas
off of a song.
Doesn't matter. That's semantics and you moving the goalposts.
How?
Her song is a part of her catalog that was released a long time ago.
Okay,
it's not new music.
Okay,
see,
if he said,
so you're bringing new caveat. That's a goalpost.
Let's say SaVon said, legacy act is somebody who their new music does not hit the top of the charts anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's say he said that. I know it's a little goalpost.
Okay, so that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I meant.
But I still feel like legacy acts' new music can go to a certain place, like really reach high. Like
it doesn't though.
Like Usher's.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
He dropped new music
charts.
on
the R&B charts, on the
charts,
on the main Billboard charts.
Yeah.
Didn't Good chart like really high? I have no idea.
I don't
highly doubt it.
But
and I'm not hating, bro. I'm just
it sounds
being
like you're
honest.
hating. No, I'm kidding.
That's not hate, bro. Because the Billboard charts is not just on the artist, it's also the machine. Sometimes the machine doesn't want to push the button to give you the looks that you need.
All I'm saying is Mariah Carey is able to tour a song that was
She's an outlier. She's an anomaly.
She's an anomaly. Okay.
So you talk about me moving the goalposts. You're talking about one person who has the greatest Christmas song in history.
My whole point was a person who was able to take part of their catalog that was released from a long time ago and have it still chart.
That's a song.
That's not an anomaly to me.
That's a song, and it only charts because of the timeliness of the song.
But it's a part of her catalog. She's a legendary act, right? There's a mad new artist, and all this new music gets released.
Yeah.
But they can't reach her spot come that time every year.
What other song is doing that for Mariah Carey?
I know, it's just that one.
Because it is one song that is associated with the biggest marketing time of the year, Christmas.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So that is an outlier. That's the definition of an outlier. So we can't take the outlier and put it as the standard.
Jay-Z. If Jay-Z puts out an album tomorrow, you don't think it's gonna chart? SaVon.
It's gonna chart.
I didn't say album. I'm saying song.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
okay, now
Thank you.
All right, wait.
He's like, I didn't say album.
I'm gonna be honest. Let's do it.
I'm listening.
Ask the fucking question.
If Jay-Z puts out an album, a song, like a surprise drop, like how he's used to doing, we saw the success of 444. Are you trying to tell me that Jay-Z wouldn't chart?
No,
you're lying.
SaVon, Jay-Z's gonna chart.
He's gonna chart.
Okay. No, let's not do this. Let's not fucking do this.
Top 10 Billboard.
He could get a top 10.
On the main Billboard. Not hip hop, not rap, not the subgenre. I'm talking about the main Billboard with Taylor Swift and Drake and Bad Bunny dominate. Will Jay-Z be on that chart?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I think so. And I also feel like this point is stronger if you add a feature. If he go link up and do a song with Bad Bunny, it's gonna chart. If he go link up and do a song with Drake, like how they usually do on Drake's projects, it's gonna chart.
Oh, for the record, Good charted 25 on the US Hot.
That is really good, SaVon, for Usher to. That is really good on the Billboard charts.
It is.
And he's a legacy act, right? So again, I'm just more so like what your music can do and how it can chart. Like,
Pierre, can you look up Jay-Z's album sales on his last album, 444? Please, if you don't mind.
I think it did pretty well.
I'm not saying it didn't.
No, I want to check it too.
I'm not trying to knock it. I'm just going based on what I know, impact, and thought like, I don't know.
I didn't get you marriage. Oh, God.
We can talk about
we'll get to that.
She's on your mind today.
She is.
Capricorn
my queen is always on my mind.
Capricorn queen.
I brought up to you Jay-Z and Mariah Carey. Those are two people that are legacy acts that can still put out music and a Billboard and a chart. You know, so that's why it gets a little weird for me. So to answer your question, finally, I would say Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake are all legacy acts that can do the same.
So in 2017, 444 sold 639,000 units.
Not in a week.
Yes, it did.
bro.
The
That
debut
shit
week?
did not.
That's crazy.
That is almost that shit did not sell 600 in a week.
Do you remember
But
when that
I
shit
remember
dropped?
that time.
Do
Though.
you remember when 444
I
dropped?
literally remember
In a fucking week?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, no, taxis in New York all had 444 plastered on them.
Do you remember
Like,
that?
It was a
I
crazy
want you
time.
to think back to college, homie, when 444 dropped. That shit was everywhere.
I remember.
Bro.
Okay,
That
but
shit you couldn't-
outside of that, SaVon, like if saying that a Jay-Z album would have chart today is nuts.
That's
like that's
on the
crazy.
main
that's ludicrous.
Billboard, bro.
Yes, the
that's
Billboard
ludicrous.
200 is for out.
I'm
Billboard
not,
200.
bro. Personally, and I know like everything I said, Hov already saw it. So if he were to see it, fuck, he like,
Hov
he
is
ain't
our
fuck-
biggest fan.
But imagine. But where the children are today, like me,
Yeah.
If Hov drops, I don't care who else drops.
Mhm.
That is all I'm gonna be listening to. That's
Mhm.
all I'm gonna be consuming.
Mhm.
Because that's me. I fuck with Hov. I don't care what it sounds like. I'm gonna listen to it.
Okay.
I know today's generation, they do not value him in the way that we did. They are the people who dictate the charts,
Not
the
everything.
commercials. They do dictate everything. That's why,
Not
what's his
everything.
nigga name? Drew Will do it?
Drew Walls.
Whatever that nigga's name, like, that's the nigga.
Not
like,
everyone.
he's getting these commercials and these opportunities because he's dictating where the kids are putting their dollars and attention. Unfortunately, Hov, and I respect Hov for not playing that game, but Hov isn't doing that.
You know how you mentioned for certain people here to be an anomaly?
Yes,
The Jay-Z's of the world are an anomaly in the sense of
I hope so.
their crowd, their fan base,
Mhm.
because of the fandom that they share for Jay-Z, will propel them to those numbers.
Yeah. I don't
Yes,
think
normally, to
Yeah.
answer your point, normally you're right. The kids do
you
dictate
need
what
the
it
kids,
is.
Yeah.
I get it for sure. But those types of anomalies don't need that.
Like Jay-Z
Hell
not
no.
appealing to Gen Z, it does not matter. Like
It doesn't matter.
He's always gonna be good.
He's
Like,
he's so revered
yeah.
from all the
From
people.
a musical standpoint, not
Yeah, from a musical
cultural
standpoint.
overall impact.
Music,
I'm saying just music and just music numbers, impact from music. I'm not saying Hov as who he is, because again, we all know, like, we all come from that. We all have that respect for that nigga. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the conversation. From a music standpoint,
Mhm.
I don't know if Gen Z has that respect for Hov.
And I agree with you. I'm
And I
saying
hate
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
we
hate
agree.
that I even have to say that
I'm
shit
with you.
because he's the
I'm
best.
with
He's
you.
number one for me.
I feel you. I just feel like he doesn't need them.